Now, one thing to realize is that whenever we are fetching data from somewhere, this somewhere could be remotely in an API somewhere, or even from a database, we have to be careful of these computation of what's going on, the fetching, deleting, and doing all these things. Because remember, all of that is happening while the application is working, while the users are actually interacting with the application. So it's really easy to end up polluting the UI thread, right? Which is what's reserved by the operating system, the Android operating system, to show the UI to the user. Imagine you are creating or building an app that goes and fetches data from a database. It fetches a lot of data, like thousands and thousands of rows of information. And so the user is entering data, for instance, to the database, and then they are fetching it. So the problem arises when perhaps the writing to a database or trying to fetch something that is taking longer, or there are some problems, and that ends up blocking the UI thread, in this case, the user interface. What ends up happening is that the operating system may then stall, maybe stop, which means whatever the users are actually interacting with on the screen, it may end up stopping and the operating system may end up shutting down. So there are a lot of problems that can happen. This takes us to a topic of coroutines and suspendable functions. Now, there's a lot written about coroutines and suspendable functions and so forth, so I'm not going to go into that into greater details. You can always look into that topic. But a coroutine essentially is an instance of a suspendable computation, which means suspendable means that it can be suspended if need be and can start somewhere else if also need be. So this asynchronicity that happens in computing is part of coroutine. It's really important. And so Kotlin gives us that advantage to where we can create coroutines, where we can launch certain blocks of code that should run asynchronously or synchronously with other processes. And whenever there are a problem or something needs to change, those processes can also be suspended or stopped or relaunched and so forth. So that is what we're talking about when we talk about coroutines. Obviously, there's more to the story, but that's the fact. So because we want to make sure that these functions, right, are suspendable, right? If something happens, if they're waiting for too long, we are able to suspend them or do things with them, right? Stop them and relaunch them and fetch data and not fetch, all these things safely. That's important. When we say safely, we're talking about away from obstructing the user interface or the user experience. Then what do we need to do? We're going to pass a suspend. Say suspend like this to delete, suspend to delete all, pass and suspend to function to update, that is, and definitely suspend to insert, as well as suspend for get note by ID. Now, the reason why we don't really need to add suspend for this get notes is because we were talking about other concept here of a type we're going to wrap this notes list around so that we're actually able to get to this work, to get this to work when it's time. But for now, it's okay. We'll get there. All right. So this is what we need to do so that these guys can actually run inside of a coroutine, which allows us to have asynchronicity as we do things in the background, in this case, getting data from the database and displaying it, so to not to obstruct the main thread or the user interface.